Welcome back to Huawei Routing and Switching Elite Training for HCIE. Today topic we are going to discuss on MPLS VPN. Let's start our part 2.
Okay, let's have a look. So for us to configure the MPLS VPN, so for us to define the MPLS VPN, the first thing that we need to know, we need to make sure the IGP is running. When the IGP is up, this IGP you can be using OSPF, ISIS protocol. So after the IGP have been configured, the next step you're going to define the basic MPLS. So the basic MPLS including the LSR ID, LDP, and to create the LSP path. After the basic MPLS has been configured, so then you can start to define MP-BGP, VRF. Under the VRF, you need to define route distinguisher, VPN target, and also binding to interface. So after the binding into the interface, number 5, PE and CE exchange route. After CE and PE exchange route, then between PE and PE exchange route. So these are the 6 steps that we need to be aware for us to define the MPLS VPN. So first, very basic, the IGP has been configured, the basic MPLS, MP-BGP for us to send the VPN v4 address. VRF is for binding to the interface. PE and CE is for exchange customer route to the PE and exchange the PE to PE route information. So in total from number 1 to number 6. So this is a summary for the MPLS VPN. So for the next one, that let's have a look. The next one that we will look at is on the MPLS configuration command. So over here they will show you that how to configure the MPLS VPN run on the static route, IP, ISIS, OSPF, as well as the BGP. Okay, let's have a look. Right now we're going to perform the configuration MPLS VPN running on the static route. So on the static route, in this case over here we have a figure show or the network topology of the company A. Company A has the following network requirement. So we configure the OSPF of the ISP. So over here is running OSPF. So ensure that the configuration is complete and establish an MP-BGP peer relationship between PE1 and the PE2. So it means that over here we need to perform the MP-BGP. Then create a VPN instance called as a VPN1 and define the route distinguisher and the VPN target based on the actual need. So this one later we're going to design what is a route distinguisher and the VPN target and configure static route on the CE and the PE device to implement communication between the site 1 and site 2. So it means that between PE1 and CE we need to perform static route. Same case to this portion. We define a static route. So right now over here I have built the topology. Let's just do it together. So over here we have a CE1, CE2, PE1, P and the PE2. So we do it step by step. Regarding the OSPF between the ISP has been done. So just to double check, so display OSPF peer. So my peer has been defined that is 212.112 is connecting to the peer routers. So I just have to double confirm all my OSPF route has been received. 2222 is the PE2 loopback address. As in PE2, I also having the display IP route protocol OSPF. So I receive 1.1.1 as well. So in this case, after that, we're going to define a basic MPLS. As what I mentioned just now, this is all the steps that need to be defined. The first step is on the IGP. And the second step, you define the basic MPLS. So the basic MPLS will be defined over here in the PE1, P and the PE2. So very simple. So to define the MPLS, basic MPLS, first we are going to define the LSR ID. So let's say I give a name, enable MPLS, enable MPLS LDP, and also go into the interface, enable MPLS and MPLS LDP. For the P routers, MPLS LSR, MPLS LDP, and interface G001, MPLS LDP, G002, and the PE3. The PE2 is MPLS LSR 2222, MPLS enable, MPLS LDP, and interface G002. Alright, so in this case I will configure, let's have me show you the interface. So this is all interface between the PE1, P and PE2. So the interface facing to the CE1 is not required to enable MPLS. Same go to the CE2 as well. So just make sure it's double check, display MPLS, LSP path. So make sure that I know how to reach to 1.1 and also 2.2. Make sure they have all the LSP has been created. So after that we're going to design on the VPN instance, the VRF. So first, the VRF is only done on the PE1 and the PE2. So we configure on the PE1 first. So the VRF on the Huawei routers requires a VPN. It's a IP VPN instance. So the name called VPN1. So both using VPN1. So the route distinguisher, let's say I make it as a 100:1, and the VPN target I make it 100:1 for both sides, for both on the IVT and the EVT. So one is the import, but the other one is the export. Alright, this has been defined. After you define, we need to perform the binding of the interface. So go to the interface G000. Before you do any binding, display this. Check what is the IP address. Because of the VPN instance bind to the interface, all the IPv4 and v6 information will be removed. So I perform IP binding, VPN instance, VPN1. So do you see over here, all the IPv4 and v6 related configuration are removed. So we need to configure the address again, 10.12.1.2.24. Alright, so just make sure that we can ping to the customer end. So to ping to the customer end, always need to be having this command minus VPN instance VPN 1 to the 10.12.1.1. So this is on the customer side. So I'm able to ping, and you can check on the routing table VPN instance VPN 1. So this routing tables is belong to VPN 1, and also I have two routing table right now display IP routing tables. So this is on the normal routing tables. You can see that the 10.12.1 is not available on the public routing tables. So I will do the same thing on the PE2. On the PE2 IP VPN instance VPN 1 route distinguisher 100:1 and VPN target 100:1 for both of the import and the export. And again, go to the G000 and check the configuration and perform IP binding VPN instance VPN 1 and IP address 10.12.2.224. Alright, then I will try to do a ping VPN instance VPN 1 10.12.2.1, so I can ping to the customer side. So after I define the VRF, the next step I need to start to configure the MP-BGP between a PE1 and the PE2. So I do it on the PE1. First, I will just assign, let's say this is a BGP 100. Okay, this belongs to the BGP 100. So BGP 100, I perform the peer to 2222 AS number 100. So this is the peer PE1 and the PE2, and 2222 connect interface loopback 0 using loopback to do the peering. And I go to the PE2 as well, BGP 100 peer to 1111 AS number 100 and peer 1111 connect interface loopback 0. So just wait for a while to make it coming up. Alright, so you see that over here from open conform it up to the establish. So it means that my BGP is up, but now I will show you how to enable the MP-BGP. For enable the MP-BGP, we need to go into the IPv4 family, going to the VPN v4 and doing the peer 2222 enables, and again peer 1111, sorry, it should be IPv4 family VPN v4 peer 1111 enables. So you wait for a while again, then you see that the interface will be coming up later on. Alright, so you see that right now again they go into the establish, so they already form the BGP connection. So the next step after the MP-BGP has been up, then the next step, the PE router need to learn how to go into the HCIE. It means that from PE1 I need to perform a IP route static VPN instance VPN 1 going to 11.11.11.11.32 to a host, and the next hop is 12.1.1. Okay, I built one, and on the CE1 I need to know how to return back to the PE1. So I need to define IP route static 00000 10.12.1.2, I define a default route. So to allow the PE1 can ping to the customer loopback address VPN instance VPN1 11.11.11.11. You see that right now it should able to ping to the customer route. Same things we need to be configured on the PE2 and the CE2. So I need to define IP of route static VPN instance VPN1 22.22.22.22.32 and pointing to the 10.12.2.1. And a CE2 need to perform IP route static 0.0.0.0.0 10.12.2.2. So I should able to ping from the PE2 minus VPN instance VPN1 22.22.22.22. So no problem at all. So this will be on the static route that I learned between the CE1 and PE1, PE2 and the CE2. But now the point is how we're going to exchange the route between the two PE, a PE1 and the PE2. So in this case, we need to import our static route into the BGP. So very simple. So I just need to go back to the BGP 100 and define the IPv4 family, VPN instance VPN1, and perform the import route static as well as the import route direct. I need to import the both information into the BGP. So let's have a look for the PE2. Display BGP VPN v4 or VPN instance VPN1 routing tables. So do you see that right now the PE2 can receive the route as in 11.11.11.11. So this route is learned from a PE1. Okay, because the PE1 just now I performed the import route. So you can see that in PE1 when I display the BGP VPN v4 VPN instance VPN1 routing table, I cannot see any 22 because the PE2 haven't advertised, haven't performed the import route from the static into the BGP. So I go to the BGP 100 IPv4 family VPN instance VPN1 and perform the import route static and import route direct. And on the PE1 I display again, you will see that the 22 is available. And now between the CE1 and CE2 should able to ping to each other. Do you see that? From CE1 I can ping to 22. When I display my routing table on CE1, they have no detail route going to 22. It's all go across to the PE1. I just point to the next hop as a PE1. So the configuration here is very straightforward. Just always remember the step-by-step I show you just now. First step, your IGP. Second step, MPLS. Third step, VRF, MP-BGP. Then exchange route between PE and CE, and exchange route between two PE. Alright, let's have a look on the slide over here now. So this one will be on the configuration on the MPLS VPN running under the static route. So it's straightforward. So always remember, so over here we need to have a default route. We need to have a VRF, LSID, enable MPLS LDP, do the binding, configure IP address. So this one is just internal. And the BGP using the loopback, VPN v4 doing the MP-BGP. Over here, this is just a import route from between the two PE, import direct, import static, and the basic OSPF. And the last one is a static route that learn the route from the customer. So this all the configuration has been shown you just now. So for the next one, we're going to go in for the routing protocol as using the RIP.
Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel.